Hey, this is Jeanette with SVB Wine Industry Solutions, and it's time for the annual Silicon Valley Bank Wine Industry Survey. So I'm going to walk you through the financial questions on the survey and show you how to pull the reports from QuickBooks. Now, I'm going to be using my sample file, so this assumes that you have your file set up using the Fundamental 5 system that we've recommended. So first of all, what is your annual case production? That report is going to be purchases by item summary, because remember, we record all of our bottle runs on a bottle run check, and this report's going to show you that quantity. We don't recommend using the inventory adjustment feature in QuickBooks for the bottle runs. So this is what the report looks like. You'll need to modify your dates. The dates in my sample file are roughly 2017 and 18. If you have run all of your bottle runs for the year by this point in time, you can just use this fiscal year to date. If you still plan on having a bottle run in December, I would recommend using a 12-month slice of time. So going October 1st, 2023 to September 30th, 2024. Or you can go this fiscal year to date and then just add on the amount that you plan on bottling in December. In any case, this is the number of bottles that we bottled. This file we keep track in bottles instead of cases. So I'm going to take 33,684, divide that by 12, and that gets me 2,807, which is my annual case production. All right, next question is estimate the average retail price per bottle. Again, this is a straightforward QuickBooks report. This is going to be the sales by item summary report. And this is what it looks like. You'll need to do some modifying. So after this report comes up, we're going to go customize, plug in your dates. Again, I would recommend plugging in a 12-month slice of time. So this should be 10/01/17 to 09/30/18. But then the most important filter is to pick the class that represents your retail sales. So on the left, I'm going to pick class. Then in the middle, all of my classes are going to show up. So I've interpreted this question to say just my retail sales. My retail class is the class for my tasting room, but you might want to include all of your DTC classes. That's your choice, however you interpret the question. I've interpreted it very tightly to say just my tasting room sales. So I've picked retail, and then I'm going to come down to this column right here, and the answer is going to be right there, $25.23. Sorry, I ran this differently. This should be 25. So this average is a weighted average. If you sell more of your lighter style wines like your rosés and your Sauvignon Blancs, this number is going to adjust accordingly. The next financial question is, describe the percentage of wine sales made through each of the following channels. This is a question that is really easy to answer when you have your file set up using the Fundamental 5. This is going to be a custom summary report. So we're going to go Reports, Custom Summary, and then I'll walk you through sales by channel. I'll walk you through the customizing. All right, so you're going to go Customize. And for the date range, again, I think you want a 12-month slice of time. So take October 1st, 2023 to September 30th, 2024. Display columns. Oh, first of all, you definitely want your report set to accrual. We run all of our reports on accrual basis. Display columns by total only. Display rows by class. And display columns here by amount. And then over on the filter, and this is really important, you want to pick the account filter, and then in the middle, let's pull this down, you get your chart of accounts. You want your wine sales income account. Now, in our Fundamental 5 system, we recommend you have just one income account for your wine sales, because the classes is what designates the different channels that you're selling in. So you should have just one wine sales account. And then we go OK. And voila, this tells you your class. I'm sorry, I forgot it. Over here on Customize, you need to add, sorry about this, you need to click this guy right here, percentage of column. That'll get your percentages to show up. Here's your percentages. So now it's easy to fill in wine club, retail, web, and other. Now, and they just want whole numbers. So even though you did have a teeny bit of web sales here, we're still going to put a 0. Now, the tricky part is going to be identifying how much was on-premises and how much was off-premise. And I've also interpreted this wholesale on-premise and off-premise as a combination of distribution and wholesale sales. So first of all, you want to add these two together. So we're really looking at we're looking at 58%. Well, that'll explain why I was off a little bit. This guy, we're going to change that back to 6. 58%. And then you could do one of two things. If you already know the instructions that you've given to your distributor and you know that all of your sales are on premise, then just plug it in, or you can estimate what portion of this 58% is on premise versus off premise. You can also use a report that we use in our CRV workflow, and that's also a custom summary report. So you can run another custom summary report, and that report's going to look like this. So in this case, the customizing that you're going to do is, again, you're going to plug in your date range, and you're going to flip the display rows by customer type, but we're also going to go filter, and we are going to filter for, again, the wine class account, but we're also going to filter for all the resale classes. So I've selected FOB and wholesale. Now, this report works only if you have defined all of your customers as on-premise or off-premise. Now, in my sample file, I've only done that for 1 month, and I haven't defined that for distributor because you don't know with your distributor if they're on-premise or off-premise. So this at least gives you an idea of the amount of on and off-premise wholesale sales, and then you can just figure out of your distributors what instructions have you given them for the type of accounts that the distributors are selling the wine to. Okay. So do your best you can with the on-premise and off-premise. And the last question is question 9. Oh, sorry. This question 7. This is a super important question. Expresses a percentage. Estimate your sales growth rate for the end of this year compared to last year. So that is going to be a profit and loss report. So company and financial, profit and loss standard. And this is what the report will look like. Okay, now you're going to need to go customize. And you're going to plug in, again, I've plugged in a 12-month slice of time. So you're going to plug in October 1st, 2023 to September 30th, 2024. And then you're going to add these sub-columns, previous period and dollar change. And we don't need to do any modifying here on the filter side. This is just a standard P&L. And then we go okay. But the only account that we're interested in is the wine sales. I don't think Rob at all cares about any of your other sales accounts. So as you can see, this is comparing a 12-month slice of time, and the sales went down 16%. So minus 16 is the number that I'm going to put in to number 7. And then last of all, number 9, when 2024 is complete, our winery will probably say it was which of these. So to run that report, you're again going to run a profit and loss report, but we're going to run the profit and loss report for multiple years. So again, profit and loss standard, and this is what it looks like. And what I've done is I've displayed 3 years of history. And I've displayed each column by year. You can put the dates up here, January 1st to December 31st, display columns by year. You can also use the customize, but you can get it all done right here. And what this shows us is that, and again, it's a little bit tricky because you haven't finished with 2018 yet. So most people already have an idea of where you're at. In this case, I would say, meh, neither a good year nor a bad year. And honestly, if you get this result of neither a good year nor a bad year, you're actually doing really well, given how 2024 unrolled. So that is the last of the financial questions. All the other questions, you can just open up the survey and answer as you go. So please submit the survey, especially because the small wineries are underrepresented in the survey, and we really would like to have useful benchmark numbers for the small wineries. Good luck. Cheers.